Hey folks, today we're going to make bowstring silencers out of wool yarn. This is my favorite. I think this is the best. In my mind, it offers the most bang for the buck. It offers the most silencing. And well, they look cool and they're pretty easy to make. So a lot of you remember, back in the 80s and that, everybody had yarn puff balls on stuff. Alright, what I'm going to do here is, any of the trappers, they know that this is a setting tool for a dog proof, but it just happens to have about the right spacing that I want to use. What I'm going to do, I'll tie a little slippy knot here. Slip it right around and use that notch and get it tight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come around here and I'm just going to wrap it. And I'm going to go about 30 to 35 wraps. That's where I like to be. So there's 2 already, so there's 3, 4, 5, 10, 19, 20. I'm gonna go 30. 30 looks good. Cut that off. And then what I'm going to do, which I guess I should have had this ready ahead of time. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this just regular Brunel nylon serving thread. And I'm going to wrap it right around the center of this yarn. And when I come around a couple times here, and then once I get to about here, I'm going to make sure I'm as dead center as I can be. I'll pull it tight. I'm going to come around one more time over top here. I'm just going to tie a double overhanded knot. Get down in there tight. I'll do it again. And there. Go ahead and trim that. Alright. So this is what we've ended up with. We have 30 revolutions of the yarn. Then I tied 2 double overhand knots to secure it. So now I'm going to do is pop that off there. And you end up with this little disc, basically. You can see my thread in there. That thread's going to sit parallel with the string on the bow. So let me grab the bow. Okay. So like the rest of them, we're just going to split our strands here somewhere. Okay, so we got to spread that out pretty well. And remember, we're going parallel with that knot. So we're just splitting it. Here's you can see where the halves are tied in the hourglass. There. String in between those pieces. And then same here. Then we can get it in there. And we're just going to simply twist it up. Back to where we need to be. And then we're going to grab the bowstring here. And we'll get her strung back up. There, I got her strung back up. And then we're going to come right in here with our scissors. And you're going to find these loops, these end loops, and you're going to cut them all. Find all these end loops and we're going to cut them. Mind where your scissors are at, of course. Definitely do not want to cut the bowstring. That wouldn't be pleasant. Well, then you'd have to make a new bowstring. as well. Okay. Oh, missed one. And come right to the other side and do exactly the same thing. Might take you a couple times through to make sure you got them all. Seems always when I start to fluff them out, I always find a couple loops I missed. We got a piece come out there, so I'll trim that off. And that's what you pretty much do. You can fluff it out a little bit, give them a little bit of a haircut. I like my silencers, these wool ones, a little bit on the smaller side than normal. They're so effective, they don't need to be as big. Nice thing about these guys is why they're not exactly waterproof. They shed the water pretty good, and then once they get a little loaded up, it's a simple pluck of the string. You know, without the arrow on there, and just pluck the string. And that water pops right off there. Trim it up the size you want, fluff it out. It's as easy as that, and you don't need any serving. But you could use these on a compound, I'm sure. You might have to serve them in there to get them to stay put, but I don't think you really would. It's a really great option. I think the whole skein of yarn cost me like $4 or $5, and I could make dozens and dozens and dozens of silencers from it. So yeah, but that's it. That's making bowstring silencers from wool yarn.